Hi everyone, welcome to A Stitch in Time. Today is Wednesday, February 12th, 2025, and this is episode 304. My name is Carol. You can find me on Ravelry as Knits and Pearls, and you can find me in real life right here in the Fraser Valley of British Columbia, Canada, about 100 kilometers or 60 miles east of Vancouver, where it is absolutely gorgeous today. It's freezing out there. It's actually below freezing out there at the moment, but there's lots of blue sky and the sun is shining and it's just a gorgeous winter day. The bird feeders have been very busy lately. I hope you're all doing well and that you had a good, I think about a week and a half or so since we last spoke. Once again, life around here has been a bit of a roller coaster ride, mostly in a good way. And I will tell you more about that towards the end of the episode this time. I'll stick with my usual format today. So I wrote out my show notes, and for works in progress, I just said, see episode 303 because I'm still working on the same 4 projects that I showed you last episode, but they have all seen some progress. And before I show those to you, just a quick reminder that there is a make-along taking place in the Ravelry group called Stash Spectacular. It's just a very casual chatter thread that's going to take place all year. And it's just a place where we can gather and talk about the things that we're making from our yarn, fiber, and pattern stash. So if that sounds like something you'd like to do, come on over and join in the conversation. It's a very friendly, chatty group there. Once again, a special welcome to any new viewers or subscribers. My YouTube viewership's kind of exploded in the last couple of episodes. I am not exactly sure why, but it's kind of cool. And so welcome if this is your first time watching. Thanks so much for checking out my channel, and I hope you like what you see and that you will be back. And if you like what you see, I always forget to do this. I'm such a terrible YouTuber. I only do this for fun. I don't do it for money, so I don't always feel like I have to promote things. But if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up button, and if you want to be notified when there's an episode, hit subscribe, and also hit notifications, and then you won't miss any new episodes that I put out. Okay, works in progress. Well, I am working on a pair of socks for my husband for his birthday. I actually started these back late November. I thought maybe I'll try and do them for Christmas, and I thought, no, forget that pressure. I'll make them for his birthday, which is at the end of February. So we're almost halfway through February, and I am just over halfway through the pair, so timing seems to be working well. I am using this yarn from Crafty Jack's Boutique. As you can see, it's I think it's Tough and Tender fingering, which is a 90% superwash Targhee and 10% nylon, and this is the Rocky Shores colorway. So, I have sock number 1 done. I finished this last night. Actually, I finished kitchenering, grafting, let's use that word instead. I finished grafting the toe just as Cameron drove in the driveway last night after work, and I quickly shoved it back in my bag with the yarn and needle still attached. And then later last evening when he went downstairs to watch some TV, I wove in the ends, and then I cast on the second sock. So I am trying to work on these, well, not trying, I am working on these when he can't see them because I want them to be a surprise. So I used to cast on 72 stitches for his socks, but he sometimes finds that a bit too much, And so I've started knitting his socks with 68 stitches. It's not a big difference, but it's just enough to snug them up a little bit. I prefer to do my socks top down, although I do sometimes do toe up. And for this pair, I did a traditional heel flap and gusset and my usual rounded toe. So I started with 16 rounds of 2x2 rib. That's just what I normally do. That gives you about 1.5 inches. And then, yeah, this is knitting up in a really fun way. This is a little bit of spiraling and some speckles. You can see that heel there. And so, yes, like I said, one down, and then this much, about, let's see, how many rounds? 6 rounds of ribbing. So I guess it actually goes, yeah, it goes this way. I was thinking I had it upside down, but anyway, those are off to a start. I don't know if I'd call it a good start, but it's off to a start, and I will continue to work on these probably most mornings. I've been trying to do that. It's not every day, but I kind of like to wake up and have a couple of cups of tea first thing and ease into the day, and so that's when I'll spend some time working on them. Pardon me for a second, my nose is dripping. Okay, I have also been continuing to work on my gorgeous green Burmese Basic 18. So the Burmese Basic 18 is a sweater by Beth McDonald Stone, and I started this last March from a couple of different yarns held together. Let's see, I didn't pull them out. I should have beforehand. So I have some Merino DK from Mineville Wool Project, which are the dyers behind Fleece Artist. And then I paired it up with some Fleece Artist 100% merino yarn, or lace weight yarn called Saldana. And this is the cedar colorway. My lighting is not 100% fantastic, but it's the best I can do this morning. So really love how these two knit up together. This was my swatch, which unfortunately is not capturing just how there, that's better. It's like that. It's bright and very rich color, very jewel-like. And so I think the last time I showed it to you, I'm not sure if I had finished the body or not. I think I might have been almost finished the body, or else I might have picked up for the first sleeve. I can't remember, but I have finished the body. And as you can see, last night I completed the first sleeve. Again, the yarn is more brilliant, more like that than it's showing. It's just the way the sun's coming in here, or not quite coming in here. It is only just after 10 in the morning, so I'm just working with the light I have, and I often will in the morning record down in the office, but I just didn't feel like hauling everything downstairs and setting things up, so I thought I would just sit here at my kitchen table and chat with you today. So this is coming along nicely. It is a yoked sweater, and the designer has written a number of Burmese Basic patterns based on different yarn gauges. And so if you like this style, she's got one I think for fingering, and for this is more like I guess an Aran weight. Probably has DK. I haven't looked too closely. I just know that she's knit this or written this pattern up in a number of different yarn gauges. So it's a good basic yoked sweater. Now, I feel like I should have knit a little bit more ribbing on the bottom, and I tried it on, and then I thought it was okay, and then I've been having, been second guessing it ever since. So what I ended up doing is I knit my sleeves for the cuffs, I should say. I knit the cuffs the same length as the neck. I can see yarn sticking out there. And what I'm going to do is once I do the second sleeve, I am going to take out my bind off on the bottom, and I'm going to add a few more rows and make all the ribbing the same length, and that'll add just that little bit more ribbing to the bottom of the sweater, and then I'll be happier with it. Now I am counting on this stretching a little bit. When I cast it on a year ago, I was a little bit smaller, and I chose the smallest size, and now I'm wishing I had done the next size up. It fits. I just find the sleeves in particular just they're fairly form-fitting, and I do think I know the merino is a superwash. Well, I guess they're both merino, but the DK yarn is a superwash merino, so I'm hoping that just gives that little bit more stretch once I block it. I think it will be fine, and I'm also hoping to be a little bit smaller again once we get settled and I get back into a better routine. I had mentioned last episode I was going to need orthotics. I've been measured for them. And I'm hoping that once I get them that I will be able to get back to walking, because I've something I haven't done for a while because it hasn't been very comfortable. So anyway, all will be well. I will admit I'm at the point with this project, I just want it done. It's a little bit boring just doing stockinette, even though it's gorgeous yarn. I think I'm just at the point where I'm just ready to move on. And so I'm going to try and concentrate on this over the next few days. That's really all it should take. It knits up pretty quickly once I actually work on it. So hopefully next time I record, this sweater will be done. I might have said that last episode too, I'm not sure, but maybe. Okay, it's gonna fall if I don't move it. Just a sip of tea here. Okay, I have been working on another sweater. Here's a terrible photocopy of it. It's called Sparkle by Kristen Michelle. And mine doesn't look quite like that, but what I am doing is using this pattern as a jumping off point for a color work sweater using some of my hand spun. And I am following the chart. I just cut off the zigzags, a couple of zigzags early for the yoke, and then as you can see it does have some chevrons here at the cuff also, which I will be incorporating. But because of the number of colors I have and stuff, the overall look is different, but I am following the pattern, the stitch counts, using the graph chart, all of that. So I am making Sparkle, it just doesn't look quite the same. So I am, as I mentioned, using some hand spun, which I have all the leftovers tucked away in this bag, so a little bit hard to see. This is from Fiber Nymph Dye Works. That's your card. And this spinning set was a mixed blue-faced Leicester spinning set, 7 ounces in a Legacy colorway, and that is her 13th anniversary color. And so this was my first attempt at chain plying a whole skein or whole skein's worth. With varying results. As I was spinning, my yarn was getting thicker and thicker, and I had a couple of skeins that I chain plied that didn't really work really well, but I'm using it all anyway. And then when I decided to just sweater, just gonna see if I've got, I had some leftover Cascade 220 Sport in the jet colorway. Again, lighting, sorry. It's basically dark, 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 dark charcoal, almost black. That's color 4002. And this is a non-superwash sport weight yarn. So I had some skeins left over from a sweater I had made for my husband quite a long time ago. And I ended up ordering some more from Webs because I couldn't find any locally or in Canada, but it did arrive. And what I'm doing is alternating skeins because the new yarn is slightly lighter than the old, but it's working fine. So I think last time I showed you, I think I just finished the yoke. So again, lighting. So this eggplant colorway that I began and ended with is not going to show up quite as well. That'll give you an idea. And as you can see, the hand spun part is lumpy and bumpy. That's okay. It's hand spun and I'm so excited to be using it. So I have split for the sleeves and I've knit down, I kind of finished whatever I had left in that first bit of my original yarn. So looks like probably just about 2 inches. So then once I finished that, I broke the off the skein of the new yarn, and then I picked up for one sleeve. And what I'm going to do is continue to alternate skeins down the sleeves, and I'm going to do the sleeves first with the color work, and then once I'm done, I'll begin on the body again. And the beauty of working with this non-superwash yarn is it's very easy to join in the yarns by spit splicing or wet splicing, however you like to say it, and however you like to do it, whether you like to spit or whether you prefer water, no judgment here. But it's a great way to join in yarns. You have like so few ends to weave in when you're done. Of course, with the color work, I did have those ends to weave in, and I have done that now, and yeah, there's the back. So super stoked about this sweater. That's the one I really want to be working on. As you can imagine, with the dark yarn, I have to have really good light when I do it. But for the stockinette portion, you know, it's not so bad, but I either sit by a window in the day or it's the same seat at night, but I have an aught light that I use, and that really is helpful. And then finally, another project with the A Legacy colorway from Fiber Nymph Dye Works is a pair of socks. I am doing the heel toe do-si-do pattern by Kay Litton, who is has Crazy Sock. She has the Crazy Sock Lady podcast, and also her pattern company is Crazy Sock Lady Designs. And so again, I wanted to do a chevron pattern because the colorway is based on a chevron afghan that the dyer's grandmother had made, and that is Lisa of Fiber Nymph. And so again, color, not the best, but you get the idea. And then I had purchased 2 mini skeins to use with this yarn. I'm only going to end up using one for the socks for the heel. So I did a, let's see if I can find the lighting. I did an Eye of Partridge heel on these socks. It's not going to show up, I don't think. I don't have any lighting like down close. It's overhead and natural light, so that's why it's not as good as it could be. Anyway, you can see I've added in the eggplant heel right when the eggplant colorway came in to the sock. And so yeah, you can see that's from the side and that's from the front. I love this pattern with striped yarns. It just adds so much interest. And what I really like about it, it's a 2-row repeat, super simple, and I like that the back is plain so that you get to see the yarn both, spiky and just plain. And yeah, it's just a great pattern for self-striping or self-patterning yarns. So that is it for projects. I'm going to take a quick break, warm up my tea because it's kind of cold, and I will be back to talk about what's been going on in my life since we last spoke. So, last episode, I told you that Cameron and I had just had an offer accepted on a condo. And then I neglected to tell you anything at all about it. I guess because I was just too excited about everything that was going on. So it is located just a few kilometers from where we are now, close to our two main malls in town. So shops and restaurants and other services will be within easy walking distance, which I think will become even more important as we get older. We do envision living in this place until we need some sort of care, and I think it will suit us very well. In fact, the couple that we have purchased it from bought it when it was new 16 years ago, and that is the reason that they have sold it. It's been well looked after, had some nice updates done to it. It's a top floor corner unit. There are 4 stories in the building. So it's high enough to see over some other buildings and get a nice view of the mountains, but not so high that you're way up high in the sky and away from everything. It is just under 1,400 square feet, has 2 bedrooms plus a den, which will be my craft room. It's about the same size as my current craft room, so it should work out quite well. And then we are going to put a sofa bed in the 2nd bedroom so that we have separate spaces where we can go and watch TV or do things, read a book without the sound of a TV playing, all of that sort of thing that we do here now. Quite often in the evenings, after dinner, we kind of start out in the living room together, and then Cameron inevitably will go downstairs to watch TV in the family room. So we needed a space. We could still have separate spaces, but still have lots of space that we can share together. The kitchen will be smaller than we're used to, but the main area is an open concept, and there's plenty of room to set up a second table for family dinners. That was really important to us. In fact, I was really touched because when I was telling our 14-year-old grandson about it, his first comment was, "Well, what will we do about Christmas dinner at your house?" So I was happy to tell him that we can still have family dinners, that we made sure that was something we could do in our new space. I didn't realize how much they meant to him, so that was a nice thing to hear. So, as I also told you last episode, our house had gone up for sale that morning, and we'd already had a showing and another one booked for that evening. And then we had 2 more booked for the weekend, and then eventually one for Monday. So we were out of the house, or in and out of the house all weekend, and we had some positive feedback from the first few showings. But the downside, which we knew going into it, is we do live on a fairly busy street. It's the bypass route, and we've lived here over 35 years, and we've grown into it. We don't really notice it much, except for sometimes when we're trying to get into our driveway, because we like to back in. Sometimes we have to wait, a couple of minutes before the wave of traffic passes by, and you can do that safely. But honestly, we mostly just live in the house and in the backyard, and but I can see how that might be a concern for people. In any case, on Monday morning, I got a call from our real estate agent with some bad news. The condo owners had another offer. And so because our offer was subject to sale, we had basically until, I guess it would have been like this past weekend to get a signed offer on our house. But as I mentioned, we did have a showing booked for that afternoon. And we knew they were coming from out of town because they were delayed by weather. We had some snow over the last weekend. And they had asked if they could be a little bit later. So of course we accommodated that. And just a couple hours after that, I got a call to say that they had put an offer on it. And so did a little bit of negotiation, and the next day it was signed. It was all worked out with some subjects that needed to be removed. So one of those subjects was a home inspection, which is expected. We're having one on our place too. That took place, today's Wednesday. That took place Monday. Subjects are supposed to be removed tomorrow, Thursday. So we know, one of the other subjects was subject to financing, but our understanding was that they had already been approved up to a certain amount, and so that shouldn't be an issue. So yesterday I talked to the agent, and she inquired with their agent, so, how did things look? Or, can we expect subjects to be removed soon? And she just got a 2-word text back, something like looks good or something like that. So it's not someone she knows, it's an agent from out of town. So she said, I think we're okay, but just keep it in the back of your mind, like it's not 100%, which we know. So that's part of the stressful part. But it sounds like, to me, if there had been something really off with the home inspection, I think we would have heard about it by now. So we've gone ahead and booked a home inspection on the condo for Friday. We'll meet up after it with the inspector and the agent Friday after Cameron gets off from work. And then if all goes as expected, then we'll hand them a deposit and on Saturday probably, and then our subjects can come off and all will be well. And the closing date is March 20th, so 5 weeks tomorrow. We get possession after signing, and we will book moving for the following day, and then the people moving into our house get possession the day after that. So we've got plenty of time to move out and get it cleaned and all that. So I wasn't sure how all that was going to work. We've only bought one house, it's this one, and we've never sold one. So it's all been lots of things to learn and lots of emotional kind of roller coasters. Hearing Monday that, we might lose the condo, and then elation just, hours later, hearing we had an offer. And then now it's been the stress of waiting to hear back and make sure the inspection went okay. And it's just been like this. I didn't sleep too bad last night, but Cameron, he said he woke up about 4 and couldn't go back to sleep. And I don't know if maybe his moving around woke me up, because I woke up early too. And it's just lots of things to think about. But continue to cross fingers, toes, arms, legs, eyes, whatever it takes. Subjects are due to come off tomorrow. So hoping everything goes well. I'm not worried about things on our end, just a little nerve-wracking, waiting to hear back from them. Now, one really cool thing for me is when we were negotiating, our agent said something that made me think that the house was maybe being purchased to be used as a rental property. And I know I'm romantic and maybe a little bit sentimental, but I was really envisioning a family living here and was really hoping that this would be a place for another family to grow up in. This is where we raised our kids and have lots and lots of happy memories here. But then on Monday, their home inspection took longer than we were led to believe it would. And so Cameron came home for lunch just after 12:30 like he normally does, and they were still here. And so he just came in for a moment, and their agent was here, and it was a family. And he thought it was a family of 5, which we have 3 kids, and that would just be a really cool thing. So we still don't know 100% that the family is moving in here. It could still, I guess, theoretically be being purchased as a rental. But I love the idea that perhaps another family will be living here. We did have an open house on Saturday, just as a backup. It was really well attended, a lot of interest, and a lot of people then were looking at how they might put in a second kitchen downstairs and therefore divide it into 2 suites. So we know that's something that happens quite a bit. There's several streets on our block, or several houses on our block that have been converted that way. But I just prefer the idea of it, being someone's home. Anyway, enough about that. We have a really fun weekend coming up. It's Family Day next Monday here in BC. And we are getting together with our family on Saturday. Weather permitting, a bunch of people, mostly the guys I think, are going to go disc golfing. We're actually heading into our son's, who lives one city closer to Vancouver, about half an hour drive from here. So we're all going to gather there. Whoever wants to disc golf is going to go off and disc golf, and the rest of us will stay and chat. A lot of us are planning to bring our knitting and crafting, and then afterwards we'd given our kids a gift card for a local, like a craft brewery. There's one location here in town and the one where our son lives. And then we actually received that as a gift from someone else. And so we're all going to get together afterwards and go and have dinner together at the craft brewery. So it sounds like a really, really nice weekend. And then I imagine we'll be spending the rest of the weekend starting to pack. And then the following weekend, I am taking part with my 2 sisters who curl in a fun bonspiel. There's a police bonspiel that's being held at our club, and both of my sisters curl in a Wednesday morning league, and the skip from one of their teams was saying, "Hey, you should get your sisters together and we should curl in this." So I don't know the skip. I will meet him, obviously, but it sounds like it'll be a fun weekend. I have curled with one sister. Most of my curling has been with her, but my other sister just started curling a few years ago. I think I curled with her once when I was sparring for her team on a Wednesday. But it'd be really fun to all 3 of us curl together. So looking forward to that. And I guess that's it for everything except for something good. And you'll notice I am sitting here on Wednesday morning at 10:30 probably by now. It's almost 11 by now. And not in a courtroom. And that is because jury duty was canceled late Friday afternoon, and I was overjoyed. So I was supposed to report Monday morning, and if I was selected, the trial was estimated to be 14 days, which, because of the holidays and weekdays, I'm assuming means basically 3 working weeks. And so I didn't want to do it anyway, but I especially didn't want to do it with the prospect of moving coming up. So when I got that email late Friday afternoon, it was like, yes, everything has been falling into place so well, and I don't want to jinx it, but I'm cautiously optimistic that by the next time I talk to you, we will have, firm contract and moving date and all of that. I don't know if I even will have a chance to record again before we move. I'd like to think I'd get at least one more in. It's really going to depend on how smoothly everything goes with packing. So if you don't see me, the next time you'll see me will be in our new home. So yes, like I say, cross everything for us. We're just so close to the finish line, and it's really stressful. On the other hand, if it all works out, this will have ended up being a pleasantly, surprisingly smooth process. So if it falls through, then I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I have to be optimistic. I feel like if it's gone this far, it's all gonna work out, but you always have to be prepared for that little possibility. So on Saturday, while we were out, while the open house was taking place, we did a little bit of furniture shopping. So we've got some ideas of things that we want to purchase. One will be a new bed with storage drawers underneath, because in a smaller home, we're gonna have to take advantage of vertical space and storage solutions wherever we can find them. Anyway, that's just going off on another tangent. Thanks so much for all of your good wishes. I had a lot of people pulling for us and wishing us luck, so I appreciate that. Again, much higher number of views than I'm used to, so again, welcome to all of you new viewers, and thanks for checking things out. Please do give it a thumbs up if you like what you see. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know when I'll see you again, but I'm hoping sooner rather than later. Take care till then, whenever that may be. And enjoy your crafting, as always. See ya.